9 to noon.
Whoa! Look at this. On a beautiful August Talker Tuesday with the National Football League on the horizon, NBA, NHL in the bubbles. They're making plays. MLB's at the midway point. A golden time of day has emerged in the Bryan Heating and Cooling Studios. Can I get a witness and a raucous Covenant collapse round of applause?
Yeah.
For Rashod Bateman, ladies and gentlemen, one of the great receivers in the history of Golden Gophers football, and his representation from IFA, Institute for Athletes, the president and the founder, also Covenant collapse, Blake Barrett's back with us.
Thank you.
Blake Barrett's, what's going on, buddy?
Just getting through the summer. Going through my first world pandemic. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm 54 years of age. First one for me, too. Rashod Bateman, 111 catches, 1,923 yards, 17 receiving touchdowns with the Golden Gophers. Welcome to KFAN. Welcome to the 9 to noon show. And, you know, like looking at your outfit and, you know, skin tone and the whole thing. Holy cow, man, would you look good in purple and gold.
Thank you. I agree. I also agree. Yeah, thank you.
Got Thielen over here, Bateman over there, got BC here, got Justin Jefferson, slot left. Let's play.
Let's go.
That'd be pretty good, right?
Tell them.
Are things well with you?
Oh, for sure.
Right, because, I mean, it's the uncertainty or the state of the world like real life. Mask on, mask off, X amount of people here, all that. The opt-out from, what was that, 3 weeks ago, something like that? You know, before Big Ten canceled / postponed, you know, and working out and training and having your eye on a prize you know is there, but you don't know when you're going to get it. So, I mean, it's just like when I say, how are you? It's like there are a lot of weird things transpiring, and you just gotta like stay humble and stay calm, right?
Mm-hmm. I agree. When I first made the decision, it was very tough, just because I felt like I needed another year to play college football. I had built relationships with my teammates and coaches. I love Minnesota, but it was really tough decision for me, and it really just came down to health. It really came down to health, and that's the only factor that paid into the decision that I made. So
you clearly are a very blessed, skilled athlete.
Yes, sir.
Who will play in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And what you did at the University of Minnesota, what you did for the Gophers was spectacular. Likewise for Tyler Johnson. Now, once he gets past this little injury thing, he's going to be having a prosperous career with Tom Brady. When putting together a game plan or playing like a big game against Penn State or whatever, that wonderful Saturday crowd on the field, whole thing, having Tyler for you and you for Tyler, how important in that and is that, and like how great was that for both you guys?
It was awesome. Tyler is honestly probably one of the best things that happened to me while I was in Minnesota. When I first got here, he accepted me as his little brother, and he took me up under his wing, and he taught me everything he knows from day one. And ever since then, we built this bond, and we just grew together. Our chemistry grew with our quarterback. Mm-hmm. We became good leaders on and off the field, and we was able to do great things. So it worked out for us.
Double B, you think he looked good in purple and gold?
I think he would. Yeah, they're going to have a need. It's going to be a fit.
They're going to have a need? What do you mean? Justin Jefferson, 25-1 to win Rookie of the Year. I might drive down to Diamond Joe's, put 100-piece on it.
Yeah, you need more than two receivers though in this league. So
yeah, we got BC.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, BC's good.
He is good.
Got Irv Smith Jr. tight end, plays like a receiver.
Absolutely.
Are you?
You need a lot of weapons. Look at the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You know how many weapons they have?
I understand that.
They got a lot of guys.
So many weapons. Their running back opts out. They bring in that LSU cat with the 3 names, and they're still favored to win the Super Bowl. Like
he's gonna
Clyde Bateman Hilaire or whatever his name is.
The rich get richer.
Yeah,
that's
one way to look at it.
Yeah, they're going to be all right.
Speaking of the rich getting richer, are you still looking for a nanny?
Yes.
You are? So that bit on Twitter yesterday was accurate?
Oh, that was...
Okay, now wait a second.
That was serious as cancer.
Your highfalutin president, founder, Institute for Athletes.
Need nannies.
I mean, we're making plays. We got AT19. I go back. Now you got to remember, I go back to Adrian Claiborne. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've seen I've like seen this whole journey.
Yep.
And then we get Jonathan Allen, that's going to be good. Then he gets hurt. So I mean, like as the kids would say, you've taken some L's. But now we're looking at the W's, and then this first round piece over here to the right of me. I mean, that God bless him. Hopefully that thing works out beautifully. I'm just surprised somebody like you goes to Twitter saying, I need an accomplished nanny, slide into my DMs. I mean, Tiger Woods did that, and he got a 9-iron on the back of his head.
I don't know where else to find them. I need help in this area. I'm not
there's this
I'm not
new
a
thing called
nanny
Google.
connoisseur. Yeah, but then you got to have people you can trust. You got people that have experience. You got people that actually want to be around the kids.
Okay.
It's not so easzy.
Yeah, because everybody who slides into your direct messages on Twitter, absolutely you can trust.
References. Need references.
Okay.
You got someone?
Wow, is it $25 an hour?
We're between 18 and 22.
Well, you're really paying that much?
18 to 22.
Rashad's like, I'm in until I wear purple and gold.
He hasn't spent a day at our house yet. He'll quit by day 2.
What? Hasn't spent a day at your house. CJ Ham's been there like 15 times. Are we playing favorites here for the Minnesota fullback?
A day with the kids, I mean.
Jeez. Rashod, since you opted out, or since the Golden Gophers season ended, who's the most famous quarterback from whom you've caught passes? Like working out, whatever. And if there's not one, then it was a bad question. Most famous quarterback from whom you have caught passes in the last 6 months?
Nobody besides Tanner Morgan.
Oh, Tanner Morgan?
Tanner Morgan.
So nobody in. So like when Adam, you guys are in the same stable. Mm-hmm. So like when Adam would get together and stuff, socially distanced and, completely copacetic. And there was like no quarterback or like no NFL quarterback or anything there.
I'm glad you said that because I honestly forgot. Nate Stanley was there a couple times.
Okay.
And
so you had to run down those bad passes. Who else?
Yeah.
I'm playing. I'm sorry. And that was strictly a college football trash talking thing.
Yeah.
Okay. God bless Nate.
And the quarterback that plays for the Vikings, but he played at Washington State. I can't remember his name right now.
Oh, Jake Browning.
Yeah, him.
No, that's a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
No, Jake Browning, I mean, football-wise, Jake, I ain't going to go through the whole story, but I mean, like you as a receiver,
right?
That was him as a quarterback into college, had some kind of labrum or shoulder problem.
He hurt his shoulder.
Right, and then he lost the velocity and all that kind of stuff. So then he goes undrafted. Now having him on the team last year, getting to know him a lot better through like fellowship on the road and just who he is and everything. Awesome guy, Jake Browning, man.
For sure.
Was he throwing you good balls?
He was.
Better than Stanley?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, but yeah.
You're the best. That's unbelievable. God, I want you to go in the top 5 so I can get some money. Rashod Bateman, game changer, Golden Gophers, in studio with Blake Barrett's Institute for Athletes. Speaking of Tyler, do you talk to him much?
I do. I'm finna get a test now. Today is his birthday.
What?
He reached out to me when.
Well, let's call. Oh, he's probably at practice.
Probably.
Let's call him on the air and surprise him and wish him happy birthday and just get in and out.
We could do that.
And then, like, say he's on the field and was like, hold on, I'm talking to Tom. Captain Cool, can I talk to him? I mean, seriously, Blake, this is a time of the year where teams are not required to divulge injuries, injury reports, all that. Like with the Vikings. Nordo and I hit on it every day. It's August. People are on decks. They're by lakes. Mm-hmm. They're not super hardcore focused on NFL. I'm telling them, until Daniil Hunter gets out there on the field, I'm bringing it up every single day because that's how important he is. He's missed 8 consecutive practices, and I'd be surprised if he went today. But the nature of the injury, got no idea severity-wise. With Tyler, I'm getting ready for Rashod, reading up on Tyler, and he's got a little thing going on right now too. Mm-hmm. Do you think that'll set him back in terms of like his rookie season with Tom Brady?
Yeah, I think it can and probably will, especially given the environment where these guys didn't have OTAs and they didn't have spring football, so you don't have they didn't have the luxury of getting on the same page and having the live reps, and every single rep is important, especially for a team like that's trying to win a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So the guys that are healthy, guys that can contribute, guys that are on the same page as Tom, they're going to have a first crack at it. That team's not rebuilding, so the flexibility and the leeway is going to be less there in Tampa than it would be if for a team that is rebuilding.
Yeah.
I think he's got to get on the field and he's got to stay healthy, know the playbook, get on the same page as Tom, and it's going to be hard for, I think, any rookie this year, just having missed all those live reps. It's hard for a rookie to come in and compete and play right away anyway. You take away an entire offseason where you're not on the field once, and you take away preseason where the bullets are flying.
And you take away his 40-yard dash at the combine, and, oh, wait, sorry.
That was a positive.
Well, I understand what you were doing, but then, like everything pops and, no pro day, stuff like that. Doesn't matter to me where Tyler goes. To you, it probably does because of like slotted money and stuff. But Tyler can play, and Tyler will fit in specifically with that quarterback and that coach, Bruce Arians, trying to get down the field. Holy cow.
He's in a great spot. I've told Rashod this too. I would take just about any rookie going to the best situation possible over the round they're taking. If you go 5th round to a great spot like he's in.
Oh, yeah.
Versus 3rd round to a spot that's not great, you're not getting coached up, or you don't get an opportunity, your NFL career could be shorter, and that money's not going to make a difference.
Rashod, in closing for this segment, Rashod Bateman and Blake Barrett's in studio, Institute for Athletes. Absolute treat to be able to chat with Rashod and Blake. 2018, your first year at with the Gophers. Do you happen to remember anything about the Ohio State game? Now, you guys lost. You became better next year. Why I ask is because Jeffrey Okudah with the Bucks, 3rd overall to the Lions. Did you match up with him? Did he cover you a large amount? What do you know about Jeffrey Okudah, and do you think he'll do well in the NFL?
He's probably the best defensive back that I have faced ever in my career of playing football.
Wow.
At Ohio State, we did match up a couple of times. Sometimes he would switch. Him and Damon Arnett would switch. But just seeing him at the combine and just watching him play, he's going to have a fantastic career in NFL. But I'm just excited to get there to just get there and compete with them. So,
what was it like for you playing for PJ Fleck?
It was pretty fun. That's all I can say. It was pretty fun. It was just exciting every day to walk into the facility and get led by a great dude and talk great things and just move on with my teammates. So it was pretty fun.
And you always feel like you have a chance to win. I mean, it's like it's a week from the culture standpoint. Plus, you and Tyler, and you guys had talent. Antoine Winfield Jr., unbelievably good for you guys. You had talent, but there's that little extra is just needed to win these games, you know. And it seems like from afar, PJ provides that.
He does. He really does.
That's the voice of Rashod Bateman, one of the great receivers in the history of Golden Gophers football, despite just playing there 2 years. His representation, Blake Barrett's, is in studio. More with said duo around the corner. Hey, Blake.
Yes, sir.
Blake Barrett's Institute for Athletes. You down with IFA? Way. With love having new school kids in here because, these old tired bits that I've done 8,000 times, it's sure nice to get a laugh every so often if you're a 54-year-old man with 3 chins and 1 eyebrow just trying to get by. Blake Barrett's season stoppages. Okay, so it's like if we're wagering down by that piano in the lobby by Uncle Jimmy at Continental Diamond. If people want to line up there, I'm like, all right, name your number. Season starting on time. I say yes, and I'll bet whatever you want. When it comes to week after week after week, I can't bet that. Now, when it comes to having a complete season, which is capped with a Super Bowl, I'd bet that, but not as much as the season starting on time. Do you envision or do you think that there could be stoppages along the way? Like we play, team or two get bit, and then they're not false positives, say they get bit by this virus, and then all of a sudden, we're down for 10 days,
I think I'm in the same boat as you. I think the season will start. I think last week was really encouraging. I think they have the proper protocol in place. I think players, it's going to come down to how disciplined they are, and I think they're taking it seriously. I think I'm in the exact same boat as you. I think the season will kick off. I'm cautiously optimistic that they'll get all the games in. I think there will be hiccups, and they're going to have to adjust a little bit on the fly. I think they have the luxury of learning some things from college and the NBA and the NHL and Major League Baseball. And they have the resources, right? So they can sign guys off the street, and they can elevate guys off the practice squad. So I'm cautiously optimistic. It's kind of been a roller coaster. Earlier in the summer, I would have said, yeah, I think they're going to kick off and they'll fight through it. And then over the last month, I was less optimistic. And then what's transpired the last 2 weeks with the NFL protocol and really having very few failed tests is really encouraging. So I'm in the same boat as you. I think they'll get it in.
Why do you think the NBA is light years ahead of the NFL?
I just think historically, at least since I've been following the NFL and been in it from the business side, it's been the golden goose. So the NFL is very archaic. It's very antiquated. Everyone was making money hand over fist, and you didn't have to adjust. And so when you don't have to adjust, you can bully everybody, and you can do things how you've always done them. And you don't have to change. There's no precipitous for change. Why change? If everyone's, these franchises were getting bought for $80 million, $100 million, $200 million, and they're increasing by 10% a year, and they're making hundreds of millions of dollars a year. They've never really had to been on their heels and adjust. And the NBA hasn't been like that. You've had cities that haven't made money. You had the unrest and labor peace. You had, cities and teams that had to move. And so I think they realize that it's a players' league. You got 15 players on a team, and it's about LeBron James and Steph Curry and the Greek Freak. And the NFL's never been about that. They've never put one player over that shield. And so, it's been a good old boys club, and they haven't really had the NBA's done a great job of saying, listen, we're going to be progressive. We're going to listen to you. And I agree. They're light years ahead. You can go 0-16 in the NFL, and you can turn to your GM and say, yeah, we didn't win a game, but you know what? I made $600 million this year.
Right.
How bad a year was it?
Right.
And that's weird. And in most professions,
you
can't do that. So I think that's been the precipitous for a lot of it.
Rashod Bateman in studio. Obviously, not knowing the play call, the depth of route, the assignment at the top of the route, or the level of competition. And looking back at some of your plays from last year, and hearing this from either PJ, a weekly guest on my radio show last year, or chatting with other people who know more about your game and the Gophers game than me. How did your route running become as good as it is? I mean, because I've heard, now, are you perfect? Of course not. And will you become better with different coaching and schemes and stuff like that next level? I'd bet my money you would. But the precise nature of your route running and selling it at the top the way you do, how did you naturally become so good at that?
Because I think I'm a student of the game. I'm in the film room all the time. I'm watching highlights all the time. I get on YouTube and I watch NFL players run routes, Julio Jones, OBJ, Adam Thielen, Amari Cooper, and I just study those guys, and then I try to go do it on the field. I feel, and then I just keep working on it until I feel like I can be better. But no, it's never good enough, so I just keep working on it, and I just feel like nobody's seen nothing yet.
And it's got to be full speed.
Got to be full speed.
I mean, that's the beauty of it, specifically at the top, right?
For sure.
Now, it's in my nearly 2 decades calling Vikings football on the radio. Okay, Randy Moss was here. That's HOF. Nate Burleson, NFL Network. I mean, Nate's route running was unbelievable. I'm going to tell you this right now, with all due respect to anybody else. Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, those are 2 of the best route runners I've ever seen in my life.
Same.
And it's like, well, who's better and why? I can't say who's better and why. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Steph may be more quick twitch, with just the twitch, and Adam with that hard sell and plant at the top of the route, but he still gets open.
Yep.
When you watch that, or when you work with Adam or talk to Adam, are there things he can share that can escalate or expedite that for you, speed it up for you?
Oh, yeah, working out with Adam a couple of times that I did, I've definitely learned a lot from him. Just him being the guy he is, he's very open and not cocky or anything. He just very he coached me up while I was up there, and I learned a lot from him from the times that I did when it came to route running and break points and selling my route and things like that. So I was excited to go out there and work with him, and I know he'll be able to help me in the future also. So
and depth of the route. I mean, for you, it's second nature. Do you hit it every time? Probably not.
Right.
But because you're doing it 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And with all due respect, because I'm fond of Cordero Patterson as a guy, super nice guy, first round pick, big, fast, one of the great kick returners in the history of the Vikings. Couldn't get that depth down enough to A, get looks, or B, get on the field.
Right.
Where, the importance of a man more than we do. if it's supposed to be 14 and you break it off at 12, that could be a pick six the other way. Or if it's a 12 and you go 14, pick six the other way. And it just really it never sunk in or clicked with him while he was here. For you, is that something with which you're comfortable, depth of route?
Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm very comfortable with depth of route. I mean, nobody's going to hit the exact 14 yards every single time.
Because you ain't looking down at that yards.
Or you're like counting your steps, anything. Right. You just got to have a feel for the game and get comfortable with it. And people that are good at that are the best in the league right now. So,
the voice of Rashod Bateman in studio with Blake Barrett. Stephen Weatherly, one of your clients, down Carolina way. How are things going for Stephen?
They're going well. He's starting at left end right now, and
really sad the Vikings let him go.
They wanted to keep him. Yeah, it was tough because when free agency started, the Vikings really didn't have any cap room, but they could use him now because there's not so much depth on the D line here. But he's doing well.
We'll see about that double B.
They got some young rookies down there in Carolina and new coaching staff, and he's in a different situation down there, right? They're expecting him to be a leader, and he's the veteran in the room, and that hasn't been the case. So it's a new, fresh, fun beginning for him.
Now, with Matt Rule, the Baylor bit, now running the Panthers, with the quirky nature of the offseason, it's virtual, couldn't get them together for that extra time for the organized team activities, strength and conditioning, no rookie camp. Like, for a person in that spot, or like, let's say somebody who's been in the NFL for a decade and a half, Kevin Stefanski, now he's coach of the Browns, given their first year coaches at the highest level, has this offseason, do you think it potentially sets people like that back a little bit?
Yeah, I think anyone that's coming into a new situation, it's going to be tougher. I think if you have some continuity this year, it's going to be even more important because you need those reps, whether you're a player going to a new team, a new coach, learning a new system. I think that's, the offseason is just so important for guys to get in a rhythm and understand what they're doing. It's really hard to do that from a classroom or from a computer. Even the Vikings coming back with the same defense, virtually the same offense, a lot of those same pieces. I think the more teams you see that have consistency across their coaching staff and players is going to be, I think there's going to be a bigger separation from the good, bad, and the ugly this year.
Rashod, were you, how many times, or do you remember games where I mentioned Jeff Okuda, where you're in games where it's like, man, 85-90% of the people you're playing in an individual game are never going to play football again after that year. If it's the end of their careers, they're, for whatever the reason, they just are not going to go where you are going. Were there times in games, and it doesn't matter how highly ranked the team was or if it's perceived to be a bad team, where you're lined up against corner, safety shade, whatever, and you're like, there's no way they're going to be able to stop me. And they're just going to, you have to triple team me. I'm not being arrogant here. It's just what you're doing is not working. I mean, was that, did that happen to you a fair amount?
It did, but it took time. Just because I push myself and always think that I'm never good enough when it comes to football, and that motivates me to go harder. But before we got to the Penn State game, I was playing well since the beginning of the season all the way up to that point, and just Penn State undefeated, we undefeated, and being in the locker room and going out on the field. After the first catch that I had, I knew it was a wrap for all the DBs that was out there trying to guard me, Tyler, Chris Altman-Bell.
That's awesome.
Demetrius, all of us. It was just the mentality that we had, and we had it for the rest of the year.
And you know what? God bless Tanner Morgan, because there was a time Tanner got here, and Blake's known me forever, man. Trust is very important to me. I'm not in the secret sharing business. I'm just going to say, when Tanner was here, came up from Kentucky, the opinion of him at a certain time when he was very young in the program was, probably just a backup the rest of the whole way. And what he showed and the gifts that he has, I mean, he was wonderful. What did you enjoy about playing with Tanner Morgan?
Exactly what you said. Everybody talking negative about him, and then he explodes, and now he's top 5 quarterback in college football right now. He's a student of the game also. He's in the film room from in the morning to late at night, go to class, and he goes back. His football IQ is through the roof, and he spreads that throughout the offense and the entire team, and he's an awesome leader for sure. So he does a good job with all that stuff, and it's all working out for him right now. I hope he keeps it up.
Who you grew up in Georgia, correct?
South Georgia, yes.
Falcons fan?
No.
Who'd you like?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, the Steelers.
Yeah.
How'd you end up being a Steelers fan from old South Georgia?
My dad was a Steelers fan, and I guess I wanted to be like him and be a Steelers fan. But as of right now, I don't have a favorite NFL team. I got favorite players, so that's pretty much it.
Who's your favorite player?
OBJ. I got to go with OBJ.
Oh, Odell Beckham Jr.?
Yeah, for sure.
With Baker Mayfield, second year. Now, their coach, Kevin Stefanski, was here for quite some time, and I happen to have a very high opinion of Kevin, not only as a coach, but as a person. From what I understand, Odell Beckham Jr. with Baker, the thing's working out pretty well there, and I'm excited to watch them play together, man. That should be fun, right?
It will. It will be. I'm excited to see them play, too.
So wait, how old are you?
20.
Okay, so you're in your formative years developing a football mind and your skill set. Oh, when the Steelers were winning 2 Super Bowls, beating Seattle and Detroit, and they beat Arizona in that game. James Harrison got loose right before halftime. Santonio Holmes wins it back right over former Viking Ralph Brown. So that probably made it easier to like the Steelers. Steelers are pretty much always good, right?
Yeah. True.
Juju Smith-Schuster. You watch him much?
I do.
What what defines, in your estimation, like his game compared to Odell Beckham Jr., Julio Jones with that wonderful size? What do you think about his game?
I love his game, to be honest, because he's not the shiftiest or anything like that, but he just proved that he can make plays with his body. He's a good receiver to me, but he just uses his strength to body defenders, but he do it because he can, and he's learned how to adjust and play that way, and I think he does a good job of it.
I know you guys got an 11:40. You got to go soon, so last one. Hey, Blake. C.J. Ham's importance to the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, C.J. the person, A+. CJ the player, underrated, can catch it too, as we saw last year.
Yeah, he's hugely important to the Vikings, and I think you're seeing a few teams bring guys like that back. Just really intelligent, sticks his nose in there, works his tail off. He's going to play, runs down on special teams and makes tackles, catches the ball out of the backfield. They split him out. He runs the ball in short yardage situations. And especially in Kubiak and previously Stefanski's offense, he plays a really pivotal role. He'll find himself in the National Football League for a lot of years, just based on what he brings to a locker room, too.
Whether it's on the mic some other time or off the mic, I really, really would like to talk to you about what's happening with Dalvin Cook right now.
Yeah.
It bugs me. I mean, it really, really bugs me that I know the team has made an offer. And I know it's not McCaffrey-esque, but it's not Austin Eckler-esque either.
Yeah.
But it sure beats 1 point whatever million this year. Oh, and by the way, that 8 he's going to get next year via the franchise.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you, and I don't know if I said this on the radio Friday or not, but I melted a little bit on it. And I'm like, and I can't remember his agent's name. I don't even want to know. I don't care. I'm saying right now, and tell me if I'm wrong. Somebody is potentially ruining this young man's life. Okay, for years to come with what is happening with his contract situation right now. And I don't want to put you in a bad spot and have you go after somebody in your game, but I think you know what I'm talking about here. And I'm not close enough. I would never do it anyway, but somebody needs to say to Dalvin, this piece here may not be the icing on the cake, the McCaffrey-esque that you want, but it sure beats the 1-1 and the franchise you're going to get next year. Oh, by the way, at the most violent position in the game. Oh, by the way, where you get hurt every year in the first place.
Yeah,
I mean, it's bugging the bleep out of me.
Yeah, a deal should get done, and especially at that position. And unfortunately, in the NFL, Rashod and I have talked a lot about this too. It's very difficult in the NFL to get leverage. And when you're playing for 1-3 this year and they can franchise you again next year,
yes.
All Rob Brzezinski is doing is sitting there and saying, if I want to keep you for the next 2 years, I can give you $11 million. And you're going to risk injury again. So there's an amount of money that you can take right now to set you and your family up with financial security for the rest of your life.
Which could be mid-20s.
Right. And then who cares what Christian McCaffrey's making? Who cares what Saquon Barkley's going to go make? Because your life is taken care of. And I think too many agents look at all the other guys that are getting paid and say, I want to beat this deal instead of looking at what's best for their client. And I think that's a huge issue in our industry sometimes you have leverage as a player, but it's very difficult to get it, and the risk has to be worth the reward. And I agree with you. I don't know the intricacies of that negotiation, but something should get done. He's too good of a person. He's too good to that locker room. He's too good on the field. They want him here. Like, it doesn't have to be the last deal you get in the NFL, but regardless of what happens, you're set for life. I mean, that's got to mean something.
So my take is not overly emotional. It's accurate.
That's what I mean. That, again, looking on the outside, like you are, I would agree with you again.
Hey, I can't thank you enough for coming by today. Rashod, bless you, young man. Stay healthy. My pleasure meeting you. This radio show, this time slot's here anytime either one of you need anything. Let us know. KFAN is good that way. And have a great day, okay?
Thanks. And I got to give a shout out to my 5-year-old daughter, Bexley. It's her birthday today.
Happy birthday, Bexley.
She's definitely not listening to the show, but happy birthday anyway.
Bexley, happy birthday. And to the future Barrett's family nanny, you're going to make $50 an hour.
Send all resumes to PA. It's $18 an hour.
But 18 an hour. Let's also make sure that the age is also over 18 an hour if you're sending anything to the announcer, Paul Allen. What's your Twitter at Blake Barrett's?
I think so.
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
Well, I mean, you went on Twitter saying I need a nanny.
It is Blake Barrett's. Yeah.
At Blake Barrett's. There you go.
At Blake Barrett's, you aspiring nannies, $50 an hour, minimum 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. And then you, too, can be part of IFA.
There it is.
Rashod Bateman, right on, man. Covenant claps for that. And the young man getting to this spot. What's next for Rashod? I can't wait to follow. Blake Barrett's fantastic. 9 to noon.